Now, when playing video games, it's easy to assume that you and your character know the most. After all the NPCs in the game have to stick to the script while you're kind of free to metagame and mess around to your heart's content. However, every now and again, you do come across a video game character who defies your expectations, or better yet, uses them against you. So let's have a chat about them. As I'm Jules, this is WhatCulture.com, and these are 10 video game NPCs who secretly knew everything. Number 10. Blind Man Cassidy, Red Dead Redemption 2. The Blind Beggar, also known as Blind Man Cassidy, is a random NPC from Red Dead Redemption 2 that Arthur can encounter whilst travelling across the Wild West. The man says that he can read your fortune for $1, and although he might appear like a drunk vagabond, the man's powers are secretly the real deal. The beggar speaks in cryptic messages and metaphors, but among his many different $1 prophecies, Cassidy details the downfall of Dutch's gang in the final act. In this fortune, Cassidy tells Arthur to run from the Seeker or help others run. Now, it might sound like a bad riddle, but if you listen to one of Dutch's conversations about books, he actually calls himself the Seeker, in reference to his favourite author's novel. Knowing that, you can figure out that Cassidy is alluding to the choice in the finale where you either help John escape from Dutch or try running away with the money yourself. The beggar also tells you your ultimate fate, and he does so for a mere $1. What a steal! Number 9. Sans, Undertale. Now, Undertale is known for its meta humour, but this said, there are only 2 characters in the game who break the fourth wall consciously, and one of them is the fan favourite pun-loving skeleton Sans. Yes, the laid-back Sans is secretly one of the only main guardians of the underground who knows exactly what the player is up to, and which consequences are tied to their actions, and what he will ultimately have to do in the game's finale. You won't see this side of Sans unless you commit to the aptly named Genocide run, leading to a confrontation at the end of the game, but there are a few secret hints here and there that Sans lets out in between chucking puns and palling around with his brother. For example, Sans can tell when you're saving or reloading, and shortly after you meet him for the first time, he will get oddly serious and says that he would kill you on the spot if he hadn't made a promise to Toriel, alluding to the fact that he knows what you're capable of should you decide to go for a genocide run of Undertale. He might be a goofy skeleton on the outside, but Sans is no bonehead. Number 8. Your email friend, Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines. Now, Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines, being a game about blood-sucking sun-haters, is obviously no stranger to the supernatural or the occult. One of the vampire clans in the game, the Malkavians, is literally made up of mad prophets who can read the future, and one of them is actually secretly helping you fulfill your own destiny throughout the main story. One of the most enigmatic characters in the game is the mysterious e-pen pal that your character receives letters from during each important plot point. The sender of these letters always calls themselves a friend and writes cryptic messages consisting of chess metaphors. Now, the emails can be easily dismissed as spam or just some stalker harassing you, but if you read them in the context of the missions you're completing for the prince, well, you can quickly realize that they're warnings telling you to watch out for certain dangers, like the prince's eventual betrayal and the bomb hidden inside the sarcophagus that you obtain for him. The identity of your chess friend is never revealed, but the game's fans have actually speculated that the stranger is probably the Malkavian clan leader Gaunter, who faked his own death to stay out of trouble and guide you through this messy vampire experience. Number 7. Michelle, Grand Theft Auto 4. Michelle's betrayal of Nico plays an important role in Grand Theft Auto 4's story, although the first time that you play through this game, it seems to come out of nowhere. Well, except it really doesn't, because if you pay close attention to her dialogue with Nico, you can realize that Michelle was an undercover cop all along, and she knew everything Nico was up to way before she was told to catch him red-handed with a bag of cocaine. You see, in the initial cutscene where Mallory introduces Michelle to Nico, you can already see her acting like an undercover agent, bombarding her friend with questions about her acquaintance's illicit activities, and then doing the same with Nico. If you then take Michelle on dates, she'll keep pestering you with more and more questions about your personal life, and if you let her invite you for coffee, we can hear her screaming to speak louder, which is probably to her hidden listening device. Her behaviour, combined with Mallory's talkative personality, makes it pretty clear that Michelle knew what Nico was up to the entire time, so maybe you should lay off the coffee when you're around her. Number 6. Delphine, The Elder Scrolls V Skyrim. Although Delphine isn't very popular with Skyrim's fanbase, you can't deny that she does play a pretty significant role in your character's transformation into the Dragonborn of Legends. She is secretly the reason why Whiterun's court wizard Farengar learns of the Dragonstone, and she's also the one who uses it to help your character achieve their destiny. You see, if you complete the Dragonstone quest without giving the stone to Farengar right off the bat, as most people do after finding it while doing the side quest for Luke and Valerius, you can actually see Delphine appearing in the Whiterun court talking to Farengar about making copies of the map on the back of the stone. Yes, Delphine is the one who orchestrated the trip for the Dragonstone in the first place, and the reason why she did it was because she already knew of the dragon's return and the last Dragonborn's prophecy from Esbern, and the map helps her and you find new dragon burial sites. You don't realize this when you first meet her posing as a small-town innkeeper, but Delphine had been preparing for your arrival way before you even knew you were a Dragonborn. Not that it makes her any more likable though. Number 5. Solus, Dragon Age Inquisition. With the recent Dragon Age announcements, the revelation that Solus is the old elven god known as the Dreadwolf is a pretty well-known fact. This said, if you pay attention throughout Inquisition's storyline, you could actually learn of Solus's true identity way before it became part of the upcoming title's marketing ploy. While Solus is still just your friendly apostate companion throughout most of Dragon Age Inquisition, he actually drops a few hints about his past life before it's revealed in the Trespasser DLC. After the ball in the Winter Palace, Solus reminisces about attending similar extravagant parties in the past, despite claiming to be a homeless wizard, and when you explore the ancient elven ruins with him, he can display a weirdly intimate knowledge of their history while being defensive about the Dreadwolf's place in elves' culture. The hints become obvious enough once you reach the end of the Trespasser DLC, but the more perceptive player can connect the dots and figure out that this party's pointy-eared egghead knows more than he lets on, much faster. That way, you can avoid the heartache of romancing him, only to have him dump you by the end of the final DLC. Number 4. Deacon, Fallout 4. Now, Fallout 4 is no stranger to paranormal events, what with the fortune-telling Mama Murphy appearing in the game's opening sequence. However, the most well-informed character with an almost omniscient knowledge of the protagonist doesn't actually rely on any clairvoyant powers for his information, just the good old-fashioned art of espionage. Deacon, one of the Railroad's agents and a potential companion, secretly spies on your character throughout all of the Commonwealth. Using various disguises, he follows you around, gathering information about you, and then he reveals this to his boss Desdemona when you finally meet with the Railroad in person. His hot gossip can include things like you joining certain factions, completing main quests, or even infiltrating a secret lab that no one else should know about. Unless you know who he is, it's pretty easy to mistake Deacon for any other random NPC while he spies on you, as he's typically labeled as a generic settler or drifter. It's why most people don't even realize that Deacon is trailing them across the Commonwealth until their second or third playthrough. Once you do figure it out, however, it's clear how he's able to lay out a perfect encyclopedic description of all your major accomplishments with ease. Number 3. Gaunter O'Dimm, The Witcher 3. Despite being a sadistic demon, Gaunter O'Dimm is one of the most beloved characters in The Witcher 3 thanks to his enigmatic allure and reality-bending powers, which include a complete knowledge of the past, present, and future. You get a glimpse of this supernatural omniscience in the Heart of Stone DLC, but what most people don't realize the first time that they play The Witcher 3 is that Gaunter actually makes an appearance in the game's intro as well, also flexing his insider info on the most crucial events of the game. Your first meeting with Gaunter takes place inside the inn in White Orchard. He introduces himself as a mirror seller and then tips Geralt off about a group of soldiers who might have seen Yennefer without ever being told that the Witcher is looking for her, setting off the main story of the game. Yes, Gaunter not only knew what Big G was up to from the get-go, but he also helped set his destiny in motion, making him indirectly responsible for saving the world from the Wild Hunt. Maybe this devil's not so bad after all. Number 2. Calendar Man, Batman Arkham City. Calendar Man is part of the laughingstock category of Batman's gallery of villains, being nothing more than a slightly eccentric man with a penchant for celebrating national holidays with rather elaborate crimes. And yet, somehow his video game equivalent from Arkham City is possibly one of the most terrifying characters in the game, as he's the only one who knows things from beyond the fourth wall. Calendar Man is connected to several Easter eggs in the game that, as you might guess from his title and gimmick, are all related to calendar dates and special events. And one of these Easter eggs is a secret message foreshadowing the events of Arkham City's sequel, Arkham Knight. By By changing your console's date to December the 13th, 2004, the date the Rocksteady studio was founded, Calendar Man will tell Batman about the upcoming end of days and that he will be there to witness it. Indeed, in Arkham Knight, when Bruce's mansion blows up, ending the days of the Dark Knight, Calendar Man can actually be seen in the crowd watching as Batman's legacy is set ablaze. And you thought that he was just a gimmicky D-list villain. And number 1, The Strange Man, Red Dead Redemption. The Strange Man, as the name suggests, is one of the greatest mysteries of the Red Dead Redemption series. His appearance in the original game is shrouded in layers of mystery, stirring up a huge debate within the series' community, trying to figure out if he's the actual devil, the Grim Reaper, or just some other occult entity entirely. And one of the reasons behind these otherworldly speculations is the fact that he appears to have an eerily detailed knowledge of John's life, including his ultimate fate. After John finishes all missions related to the Strange Man, in which he tests John's morality and asks him very specific events from his life as a criminal, the stranger meets the former gang member for the last time on a hill overlooking the Marston family's ranch. He tells John that it's a good place, and while he doesn't elaborate to John what it's a good place for, the gunslinger's family figures it out later, when they end up burying John in the exact same place that the Strange Man was standing on. Yep, he's definitely some strange soul-reaping demon. No question about it. And there we go, my friends. Those were 10 video game NPCs who secretly knew everything. I hope you enjoyed that, and let me know what you thought about it down in the comment section below. As always, I've been Jules. You can go follow me over on Instagram, where I'm at RetroJ, but the O is a 0. Hope to see you over there. Hope you treat yourself with love and respect. Hope you are having a great day, and I'll speak to you soon. Bye.